And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rosicle. I'm one of the hosts here at the channel. My name's Nathaniel. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Ashley. Say hi. Hi. There she is. And we're back with another deck unboxing. We only have like 5 of these left, at least right now, until we get more. And even then, we're only getting 2 with good old Lorwyn once that comes out. So we will definitely have to be changing up what this section of the channel is. Although it's once every 2 weeks, so it's not like it's going to be anything too crazy. By the time you guys are seeing this, we're already closer to Lorwyn than we are by the time we're recording it. But yeah, we are working on Peace Offering today. Super excited to open this deck. So this one's kind of a group huggy style Bant +1/+1 counter deck with none other than Miss Bumbleflower, which is a very popular commander. But we're actually, I mean, by the time this is coming out, we are past a year over from when these came out, right? So we are... Yeah,
we're already a year past.
After these, we're getting to Commander Masters, which is over 2 years past, so we're just a little late to the game. But you know what? We were ahead on the game, or at least around the game, when we did like Aether Drift and stuff like that.
True.
Which I kind of forget exists. All right, let's read the back of this. Kill them with kindness. Win friends and influence players with Miss Bumbleflower, who encourages a defensive, diplomatic approach over big attacks. Give special perks to your new allies while building up +1/+1 counters, and watch the table crumble under your kindness. Miss Bumbleflower manages 3 Tree City's most popular inn, as well as its pot of never-ending stew. All travelers are welcome. Open shall we? As I'm opening this, I do like to say, if you guys haven't, like the video, comment it down below. We'd love to hear from you. We'll have some questions later on we'd love for you to answer. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we would also really appreciate it. At the time of recording, we're at 205, but I certainly hope by the time you see this, at least somebody's decided to be super awesome and join us. And that could be you, helping us get to our end-of-year goal of 250. And if we're not there, hey, at least we can get as close as possible. All right. More bunny, more problems. I assume that's from More Money, More Problems? Yeah, I was going to say. I have not heard that, but I'm going to assume that's a saying. All right. Take your trash and toss it to your fiancés.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeet! And then she throws it on the floor for me to pick up later.
Yup.
But that's okay. All right. We did get the deck box here. This is really what we paid for. So we're going to open this bad boy up carefully. Wouldn't want to bend anything here. This is most of our value. But we do get the nice art, and again, genuinely, we store all of our commander decks in these, so they're pretty good. We have the coveted Collector Booster Sample Pack. Maybe we can pull something better than we did last time. Spoiler alert. Won't tell you exactly what it is, but it wasn't anything. Well,
this was coming out after.
It was over $1. It was over $1 if you guys have seen it. So we can't really complain. We just happen to already have a version of said card. One of which is significantly more money. I digress. All right, getting the deck out of here. Bam. We'll get to that in a second. We do have the lore for Miss Bumbleflower, and I believe that's everything. So we will toss that at our fiancés. She tosses it on the floor, and we are good to go. All right, here we go. Miss Bumbleflower. Oh, let's get the art in for her. There she is, looking awesome. All right, Miss Bumbleflower. Graceful, gracious, and generous. Miss Bumbleflower is the owner and proprietor of 3 Tree City's most popular inn and its signature pot of never-ending stew. This utterly massive cauldron sits on the hearth at all times. Hearth. That makes sense. Heart. Yeah, okay. English confuses me sometimes. Yep. Where guests are free to take from and add to as they see fit. Add to, that's interesting. Miss Bumbleflower can be found tidying up the inn or striking up a friendly conversation on a grocery run. Even the most hardened and rambunctious guests dare not offend her, either because of her kind nature, or the fear of offending everyone in town. Miss Bumbleflower inherited the inn from her mother, a retired pirate who founded the establishment as a safe place for animal folk to rest. To this day, Miss Bumbleflower is frequently visited by her mother's friends who regale her with adventurous stories of the past and even help out around the inn. It's perhaps because of these burly and protective friends that Mr. Foxglove has a hard time courting her. Not that Miss Bumbleflower realizes he is. Interesting. I wonder if that's like the alt commander. That would be cute. All right, playing the deck. You'll never meet more generous rabbit in all of Bloomburrow than Miss Bumbleflower. Turn your opponents into allies by giving them extra cards. Build up your defenses with +1/+1 counters while everyone's arguing over who's your real best friend and poring over their many resources. All courtesy of you. Use the new gift mechanic to spread the love even more, all while reaping additional benefits. If you're lucky, you might even get to pull off an alternate win condition.
Ooh, win con.
The deck is fun. The deck is fun. I have heard crazy things about this deck. We opened it last for a reason, and that's because while I'm excited for all of Bloomburrow in their own ways, although we have actually, the only one we've played to date is Family Matters.
Yes.
And I believe it lost.
I don't know.
I think it did.
I think so. Do you help?
I don't know. I mean, I guess so, if you really want to. Just don't damage the cards. That sounded like damaging the cards.
No, it's pulling away from it.
Do you need some help?
No. They sealed this one real well. They said, you guys don't get to play with the flower. Aha! Plastic came loose. There you go, guys.
Thank you, darling. Alright, so from there, trash.
Trash. I love trash. Tokens.
Alright, we're going to take a look at the tokens, and then we will get into the deck proper. Alright, super quick, toss that to the side because we don't need it. We've got 1/1 rabbits, 2/2 cats, 3/3 sharks, 1/1 fish, another 2/2 cat, an 8/8 octopus, a 1/1 squid with island walk, 2 of those actually. Flipping it over, we have a 3/3 elephant, I'm going to assume generous gift. Steelbird champion, we have the offspring for that. A 1/1 rabbit, treasure, rabbit, 2/2 bird with flying, 2 of those. A 4/4 elemental with flying, 2 of those. And poison counter.
That's scary.
What you doing here, Miss Bumbleflower? That's crazy.
All
right, let's take a quick read of our commander before we get into the deck itself so we know what it's wanting to do. All right, Vigilance. 1/5 for 4 mana. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, you draw 2 cards.
Cool.
Wow. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time... Interesting. Yeah, I can see how that would hold up the game. One of the biggest complaints of that was that it could hold up the game. Those are similar looking sleeves. All good, though.
Do you want me to pick a different one?
Maybe. Do we happen to have a green one available?
Yeah.
What?
We also got blue. We got green.
What other blue do we have? If you want to stick with blue... I would go for the darker blue that's there. Or you could go green. It doesn't matter. I'll let you pick. You're the sleeve person. I'm going to guess that our basics end here. Ooh. It was even earlier than that. Crazy. You went with gold, huh?
Yeah, her mom was a pirate.
I love it.
Flavor.
It is flavor. So here we have the plains of Bloomburrow, the islands of Bloomburrow, and the forests of Bloomburrow. Woo. Nice and simple.
Were you right? Were you wrong?
I was like 2 ahead.
Terrible.
And we saw we were getting a Seaside Citadel, which is, of course, just the Bantland. Reliquary Tower, never hurts. Going to be drawing a lot of cards, it sounds like. We have the Command Tower for Bloomburrow. We have Terramorphic Expanse for our land sacking getting needs. Thriving Grove, which is interesting. We don't see those a lot. Those could come out probably, honestly. Evolving Wilds, in case Terramorphic Expanse wasn't enough. I'm dropping cards.
Terrible.
Thriving Isle. That is not an expensive card. We have like 40 of them. Thriving Heat, because they come in every single jumpstart known to man. Literally, they come in every single jumpstart. Mind Stone, which is pretty good. I mean, it's a 2-mana rock that you can eventually draw a card with. We have the Soul Ring, which we know has the Bloomburrow art on it, which I think is pretty pretty. Felwar Stone, so adding some colors, which is not bad because we are a 3-color and ramp, yeah. Swiftfoot Boots for some hasted action. Not sure what we really need that for, but it is protection. It does give it Shroud. Arcane Signet.
Ramp.
No, because it's hexproof, right? Yeah, it's not. It's Lightning Greaves that gives Shroud. Arcane Signet with that Bloomburrow art. Then we have Thought Vessel. 2 instances of no maximum hand size. Tells me we're going to draw a lot of cards. Gift a card, counter target spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target. Counter target creature spell. If the gift was given, then counters. So that one's actually straight from Bloomburrow. So is this one. Whenever you gift a gift, draw a card, which is pretty cool. Nice little benefit there for us. Martial Impetus. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1. Pretty solid. Riot Control. So this is a deck. We do a lot of playing each other 1v1, and this is a deck we're going to have to consider whether we want to keep to actually be able to play in 4-player commander settings when we get to, because it's obviously not going to do well in 1v1. Riot Control. You gain 1 life for each creature your opponents control. Prevents all damage that would be dealt to you this turn. It's pretty solid. Coiling Oracle, which is a Snake Elf Druid, 1/1 for a Simic. Whenever Coiling Druid enters, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Not too shabby. Peerless Recycling. You can gift a card. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If the gift was permanent, instead return 2 cards from your graveyard to your hand. And of course, you can play that with the thing earlier and be drawing a card yourself. Although notably, that's actually straight from Bloomburrow. So is this. We have a lot of cards that are just straight from the set Bloomburrow so far. Wear down, 1 in a green, gift a card, destroy target artifact or enchantment. If the gift was promised, instead destroy 2. Then we have Spore Frog, sack Spore Frog, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn. Or that would just be dealt this turn. You can use that as a bit of a politic thing there. Broken Wings, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Skipped ahead there to a Cultivate. Farseek, which is the most adorable art for Farseek you will literally ever see. Do you remember the art for this one though?
No.
I've shown it to you before.
That in my deck so fast.
You honestly should. Search for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. Which of course can get you, if you have the white-blue one, which I think you do. I think you have the white-blue land. This can get you the land that taps for white and blue because they have the type. Because it doesn't say basic.
Nope.
Cultivate, which of course does say basics. Although you could swap that. We have a bunch of nice secret layer cultivates things that we got from the isn't Cultivate the one that I got from the local game from the
I think so, from our LGS.
that we just went through. We just reorganized our magic cards so we have a more knowledge of what
we're getting rid of like 900 cards.
Wizard class. This is actually originally printed in AFR, if I'm not mistaken. So you have no maximum hand size. When this class becomes level 2, you draw 2 cards. And then whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Honestly, not bad for your deck.
No.
An offer you can't refuse. We know this well because of Foundations. It's very bad and limited, but very good and constructed. So pretty solid. Counter and get some treasures, or give them some treasure. Bear, Steward of Argive, 4 mana, 2/4 Vigilance. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless they pay 1 for each of those creatures. So it's kind of a ghostly prison on a creature. Not too shabby. Secret Rendezvous. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. That's pretty cool. Swords to Plowshares. Oh, that is an adorable Swords to Plowshares.
Amazing.
That's so cute. I didn't know that they made animal-themed art for these staples, and now I'm so happy we've opened Bloomburrow just so I can run a rabbit-themed. Oh. Look at the generous gift. Destroy target permanent. Look at that. They just gave him an elephant.
Oh.
They just left a gift on the front doorstep porch. Yeah. Temple of Plenty is the scry for Celestia. Coveted Jewel is a really interesting one. 6 mana enters, draw 3, add 3 mana of any one color. However, when an opponent attacks you and there's creatures that aren't blocked, they gain control of it, untap it, and get to draw 3 cards. So it kind of like goes around the table. Although you could just say, hey, don't attack me. I won't ever choose you to gift things to again.
Literally.
Quain, Itinerant Meddler, an Azorius Rabbit Wizard, 1/3. Tap. Each player may draw a card. Then each player who drew a card this way gains 1 life. Sure. We have Selvala Explorer Returned. We're going to see some parlay stuff here because this is for everyone drawing. So in this case, you get to add a green. You gain 1 life for each non-land card revealed this way. 2 and a Simic for Fisher's Talent. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal it. If it's a land card, create a 1/1 blue fish creature token if you revealed it this way. Then draw a card. Cool. Green and a blue for level 2. If you would create a fish token, create a 3/3 blue shark creature instead. And then for 4 mana, if you would create a shark token, create a 8/8 blue octopus creature token instead. So that is pretty cool. It's a pretty neat card. Jewel Rael, which we've seen. This is in your deck, literally. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you make a cat, and you can pay 6 mana until end of turn. Creatures you control have base power and toughness X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So wanting to draw a bunch of cards. Perplexing Test is a fun one. 5 mana, return all creature tokens to their owner's hand, or return all non-token creatures to their owner's hand. That's always a fun one. I like that one in a token deck, though. It's really not what this is. Body of Knowledge is a fun card. 5 mana Avatar. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand, and you have no maximum hand size. Whenever it is dealt damage, you draw that many cards. We need to consider putting that in your deck.
Yeah.
Because we have a couple of those. Because I remember I've played it against you at some point, and I don't think it was Deep Blue Sea, because I know your deck really well, and I don't recall you having that one. Illusionist's Gambit. I'm gonna quit. No, okay. Illusionist Gambit. 4 mana, 2 and 2 blue. Cast a spell only during the declare blocker step. Remove all attacking creatures from combat and untap them. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Each of those creatures attack that combat if able, and they can't attack you or planeswalkers you control that combat. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Of course, again, not very useful in 1v1. Intellectual Offering, 4 mana, 4 and a blue. Instant, choose an opponent. You and that player each draw 3 cards. Choose an opponent, untap all non-land permanents you control and all non-land permanents that player controls. It's pretty good. 20-Toed Toad, which is just such a great name. 4 and a blue. 4 and a blue. 4 mana, 3 and a blue. Your maximum hand size is 20, which is really interesting. It doesn't give you no maximum hand size. It gives you a maximum hand size of 20. Which I understand is flavorful for the 20-toed toad, but also, like, why is it not just no maximum hand size? Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on 20-toed toad and draw a card. Whenever 20-toed toad attacks, you win the game if there are 20 or more counters on it, and you have 20 or more cards in hand. So that's your alternate win condition. Mm-hmm. That is one way that you can alternately win, which also, not a bad include in your deck.
Not a bad include more stuff.
Octomancer, 3 and a Simic. Gift an octopus. At the beginning of each end step, create a token that's a copy of target creature token that entered the battlefield this turn. Beginning of each end step, create a token that's a copy of target creature token. Huh.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. So you can gift an octopus so that there's an octopus for you to copy. But if there's something that you don't want to that you already want to copy, you don't have to. 2 and a blue, Squid Horror. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Chasm Skulker. When Chasm Skulker dies, create X 1/1 blue squid creature tokens with Island Walk, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Chasm Skulker. I like that. That's not bad. Triscade Kappa. I don't know. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. 1 and a blue, Human Wizard, 1/3. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game.
Huh.
That's a really cool one. Also an interesting alternate win condition we could put in your deck. Sun Petal Grove. Sun Petal Grove enters tapped unless you control a forest or a plains. I like that. We have the Signet one for Celestia. We have the Signet one for Simic. We have the Painland for Simic. Painlands are good. We have the Scryland for Simic. Meh. We have the Painland for Celestia. We have 2 or more basics for Azorius. We have 2 or more basic lands for Celestia, and then we have the the Signet land for Azorius. We do have the Exotic Orchard, which is very pretty. Noted that for all of the Bloomburrow ones. We have the Filter land for Simic. 2 or fewer lands. Interesting. I think those are from March of the Machine.
I think so.
But hey, we'll take it. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this land base so far.
Yeah.
Control forest or an island. Unless you control plains or an island. I really like this mana base, which is good because Bant is a popular color scheme between me and Ashley. So, enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So that would also be, I would assume, from the same. That's the Scry land for Azorius. The Pain land for Azorius. So that's all 3 Pain lands. That's awesome.
Wow.
Psychosis' Crawler, which of course power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So if you draw enough cards, you can just ping everybody to death. Urapor Orrery, 4 mana artifact. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns at the beginning of each player's upkeep. If that player has no cards in hand, that player draws 3 cards. Wow, that helps everybody out a lot. Simic Ascendancy, 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. So there are a bunch of alternate win conditions here. This deck really does want you to just get to these alternate win conditions. More likely to do that than honestly to just beat down everybody else.
Yep.
3 mana Vigilance. Bloomburrow Elder gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents you control, and then for each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color, which is fine, but that's better in like a multicolored deck. Colonian Hydra. I did not know that was reprinted in this. Wow, this is a good card. 5 mana, 0/0 trample. It enters with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever it attacks, you double the number of +1/+1 counters, not on it, on each creature you control.
Okay.
Which is so powerful. I mean, it has trample. I don't know if I mentioned it. It has trample. Colonian Hydra is a good include. I did not know that was in the deck. There was a March of the Machine deck I wanted to pick up just because it had Colonian Hydra in it. And then I was like, well, I could just buy Colonian Hydra.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who? We opened the Squirrel one today and opened Chitterfang. And I was talking about mono green.
That would go in there.
I'm more likely to build Bristly Bill.
Yeah, you are.
I hate to admit it. All right, Tempt with Discovery. Search your library for a land card, put onto the battlefield. Each opponent may search there. Oh, yes. So each opponent may search for a land card, put onto the battlefield, but for each one that does, you get to do it again. So This is the whole thing. I'm just going to say this on camera, okay? Because obviously if I ever play this, I will say the opposite, so I win the game. But I will say this on camera because I'm not currently playing it. The only way that this card does not basically automatically win you the game is if the entire table says, no, we're not searching for a land. Because that's when you just paid 4 mana to go get 1 land, and it's bad, right?
Yeah.
The moment one other person does, everybody else at the table goes, well, that's not fair, they're going to ramp. So I'll also ramp, and you just paid 4 mana to ramp by 4 lands, you probably should win next turn. Now, in this case, maybe not, because it is a group huggy deck, but it's a stupid card. And inevitably, everybody's always going to go, but I need a land.
Yep.
But do they need 4? No. Rites of Flourishing, 2 and a green enchantment. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns. Wow, we are just helping everyone out here. Rishkar is a 2/2 for 3. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. And then each creature you control with a counter on it has tap to add a mana, which is pretty neat because you can put counters on your stuff with, what's her face? Miss Bumbleflower. Mana Gorger Hydra is also a good one. 2 and a green, 1/1, trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So every time they cast a spell, it gets bigger. And then, of course, if you happen to have that and Colonian Hydra, it's doubling this guy's +1/+1 counters as well. Communal Brewing, 2 and a green. Enchantment, when Communal Brewing enters any number of target opponents, each draw a card, put an ingredient counter on Communal Brewing, then put an ingredient counter on it. For each card drawn this way, whenever you cast a creature spell that makes creature with X additional +1 counter or X's. That's a complicated enchantment, but sure. Some +1/+1 counter synergy there. Blued Root Apothecary, 2 and a green, Squirrel Druid, 3/3, Toxic 2. So here's our poison counters. Ooh. When it enters, you and target opponent each create a treasure token. Whenever an opponent sacks a non-creature token, that player gets 2 poison counters. Wow, does that shut down like a treasure deck? Mm-hmm. Wow, does that shut down like a treasure deck? That's crazy. That is a card. Forgotten Ancient, 3 and a green. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancients onto other creatures. Pretty neat. Shift them around. Sphinx of Enlightenment, 4 and 2 blue, 5/5. When Sphinx of Enlightenment enters, target opponent draws a card, and you draw 3 cards. Whew. That's not that bad. Especially if you have, like, you know what this deck needs? Wedding Ring. Doesn't have it in there, though. I don't think. I guess we could get to it, right? Realm Cloaked Giant, 5 and 2 white, 7/7 vigilance. Or you cast it for 3 and 2 white to destroy all non-giant creatures, which, of course, is going to be everything. That's just a 5-mana board wipe. I don't know why people are so adamant about including that. I'm never going to cast this as a 7-mana 7/7.
Oh.
Or at least I'm unlikely to. So just give me like a 4-mana board wipe.
Yep.
Mengar the Diplomat is 3 and a white, lifelink 2/4. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, you draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you draw a card. Hoofprints of the Stag, 1 and a white, Kindred Enchantment, Elemental, so it's an elemental enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, you may put a Hoofprint counter on Hoofprints of the Stag. You can pay 2 and a white, remove 4 Hoofprint counters from it to create a 4/4 white elemental creature token. Sure. Over time, just get some 4/4s, why not? Promise of Loyalty is a fun one. It's basically a board wipe. Everyone picks a creature with a vow counter to put on it, and people with the creatures with the vow counters can't attack you. Sun Scorch Regent, 3 and 2 white, flying 4/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it and gain a life. So again, every time they cast a spell, you're benefiting. Perch Protection, 4 and 2 white, gift an extra turn.
Woo.
Create 4 2/2 blue bird creature tokens with flying. If the gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out, and until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything.
That's nice. It's
So,
just like how you go beat someone else up.
It's like 6 mana to Fairy's Protection if you gift somebody else an extra turn. That's crazy. Tempt with Bunnies. Draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. Then each opponent may draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. For each opponent who does, you draw a card and create a 1/1 white creature token. White rabbit creature token. I love that. The land one is far more destructive, but
yeah.
I still like that they made a bunny one out of it. Steelbird Champion, 2 and a white, mouse soldier with offspring. Vigilance, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. I mean, it gets bigger, but that's really not that great. 3 mana for a 1/1 that then can get bigger is really not that good. Lauren of the Third Path is a good card, but I don't know if it's in this for this deck. 2 and a white. When it enters, destroy it to 1 target artifact or enchantment, and then you can tap it. You and target opponent each draw a card. Tenuous Truce, 1 and a white, enchant opponent. At the beginning of each of enchanted opponent's end step, you and that player each draw a card. When you attack enchanted player, or when you attack enchanted opponent or a planeswalker they control, or when they attack you or a planeswalker you control, you sacrifice Tenuous Truce. Oh, so it's only around until you attack each other. Cool. Oh, so pretty. And then we have Tameo, Field Researcher. 1 and a Bant. Legendary Planeswalker Tameo. Choose up to 1 target creature until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures... Choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deal combat damage, Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage. It doesn't say to a player. Just deals combat damage. You draw a card. And then it says, -2. Tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. And then, if you can, get it to -7. Unlikely, but if you can. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Holy moly. You better hope they do not get that bad boy to enough to cast the 7. You lose the game if they do. And then, Mr. Foxglove. It is the alternate commander. That's cute. 2 and a Bant, lifelink 3/5. Whenever Mr. Foxgloves attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand. If you didn't draw cards this way, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's a really interesting deck theme. I actually kind of want to build him now. I love the idea of that. So you attack with him. Because you could build him in two ways, right?
Yeah.
Like you could build him in, I spam my hand, and so every time I attack with him, I draw a bunch of cards. Or you could build him in a way where it's like, I always have a bunch of cards, so I never draw anything, and I just keep my hand full of massive creatures that I get for free. I love that. I love that as well. Cool. I'm very excited for this deck. That seemed like fun. I see why people enjoy Miss Bumbleflower. All right, so I know she's over here pointing at this like, get on with the video. I'm tired of working here. All right. Anyways, Bloomburrow Collector Booster Sample Pack. You guys know the drill. I actually don't remember from last time where the rare was. So we're just going to shoop.
We're just going to go for it.
And we're just going to flip. Peerless Recycling, which is interesting because I believe this is in the deck.
Yep, it is.
I'm pretty sure we just talked about this card. So now we could put a foil version of it in there if we wanted to. Which, I guess for the casual picking up this deck would be pretty cool if they were like, I just pulled a foil version of the card that I just got. I hope it says enough on there that it's singleton, so they don't just take it and put 2 copies of it in there. But,
right.
All right, foiled. I imagine this card is 7 cents.
19.
19. There it is. Plop.
Flip.
Slip. Oh, okay. A playable card, honestly. We got the extended border version of Fountain Port here. So foiled, extended bordered Fountain Port. Do not know if Fountain Port's really going for anything anymore, but I do know it's played. I mean, it's a land that can draw you cards. It's a land that can make you a fish and then later draw you cards with the fish. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, definitely not a bad land. Did you get it pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I don't know. Does the borderless foil make $1.10?
The borderless foil is $5.60.
This version?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Normal is going for $3.73.
I was going to say, it's a played card. It is played a lot in Standard. It is literally, I faced it so much on Arena recently in Standard. So I know it has some desire. Yeah, I think it's a good card.
I think it's great.
I mean, it's a very good utility land, right? There's a lot of utility that you can do.
Yeah,
and that's the
life,
whole point.
Treasure.
All right, so my love, my dear, my future wife, I think that's still true by the time this comes out.
It will be.
Okay, so we're still not married yet. But we're getting there. We're close.
There.
Bant is your thing more than it's mine, as your sole upgraded commander deck right now is a Bant commander, Morska.
I love
Undersea Sleuth, with potential intentions of working with me to build a Galadriel deck, which will also be Bant. So,
love it.
How Bant does this Bant? How is the Bantiness of the Bant?
The Bant is banting.
The Bant is Banting.
The Bant is banting.
Would you enjoy playing this deck? You think so?
100%.
Where would you give it out of 10?
8.
8. An 8 out of 10 is pretty solid. I mean, you got to open just a banger of a deck to get higher than that. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm as thrilled to play this. I did really love some of the cards in it. I definitely think it needs certain additions or certain themes added or focused on. But I think for me, it probably lands at about a 7 or 7.5, somewhere in that range.
That's not bad.
And I am excited for it. So Bloomburrow as a whole has kind of disappointed. Like once I actually broke into the decks, but I think I just hyped them up so much, and we've been waiting so long to open them. But yeah,
Very true.
there we go. We have it. So that's the deck. I give it about a 7, maybe a 7.5 on a good day. She gives it an 8. But Bant is obviously a little bit more her scheme. We did pull some decent cards out of the Collector Booster Sample Pack, but again, never buy it for that. Yes, you could pull an $80 card. You could also very likely pull nothing.
You could pull 5 cents.
So
Total.
just keep that in mind. That being said, we really enjoyed it. We hope you guys did too. Let us know down in the comments below. I mentioned we would ask you something. What would you rank this deck out of 10? Have you seen it at a local game store or wherever you play Magic, and how did it do? We'd love to know. We don't get to play in a 4-player pod very often, so if you have any experiences doing so, we would love to hear from you. Other than that, that's what we've got for you. We'll see you guys in whatever comes next. Check out the channel, subscribe, and all of it's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you guys in future videos. Until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye, y'all.